Good morning, folks. It's a beautiful day here in Nebraska. It's a little foggy, but still going to be a beautiful morning. We are headed out on a field trip today. We're going to go to an auction, which people on this channel really tend to like to watch. So we're going to go check out a farm auction here, not too far from us. Kelly's with us today. I'm all excited that we got her with us today. So we're going to take you there. We're going to do a little early preview, go around and show you what's there, and see if there's anything that we just can't live without, which is getting harder and harder to find. So stick around. Now there's a lot of these farm auctions around the Midwest, and unlike the auctions in the 80s that some of you may remember, these are not foreclosure auctions. Back in the 80s, there was a lot of predatory lending practices that led to foreclosure auctions because farmers were used to banks back in the day. You'd take out a loan and the banks understood you got paid when the crop came in. And if you had a year where the crop didn't come in, they would extend you out until the next crop came in and the farmer could pay. But some of the banks would use that relationship that they had with the farmers back in the day when new people would take over the bank or whatever, and the climate kind of changed. They started foreclosing on all these farms and taking their land. The interesting thing was when the bank started doing this, people would go to the auctions and they just wouldn't bid. They all knew the families and stuff like that. People would show up and they'd start the auction and there would be no bids. Farmer could be there, and when they about ready to close the item, he'd say $1, and he'd get all his stuff back for like $1. So that was pretty cool that all the neighbors stuck together and fought back against that. But these are not those type of auctions. These auctions are people that, usually elderly people that have either passed on and their families are downsizing because a lot of the older farmers never got rid of anything. And the families need to downsize all this stuff. Or they're people that just don't want to farm anymore. They want to retire and enjoy life and do some things, maybe travel or stuff that they weren't able to do before. And these are the type of auctions that we have out here now. I don't think I would go to a foreclosure auction. Just not something I think I would do. Okay, we've arrived here at the auction at an old farm here. Let's take you around and show you what they got for sale. Got an old swather here. Backhoe setup. I don't know for what kind of tractor. Appears like it might be kind of a general purpose all around. Minneapolis Moline. Bellaris. Can't say I've ever heard of that brand. Most likely all those fuel tanks will go. The Grapple. Couple Minneapolis Moline tractors, both LP propane models. My guess is they'll probably sell all these old grain bins as well. Got a PTO drive water pump. This guy was a fan of the Minneapolis Moline tractors. Got a few more here. A couple more LP models. LP meaning liquid petroleum gas or propane. An old gopher machine. You'd put gopher bait in there and then you'd rip it through the field, and the gopher bait would be underground where it would get the gophers. A portable fuel tank like you'd carry in a pickup. Here's an old sickle bar mower. Looks like it's still being in pretty good shape. It's not a 3-point, it's that old IH attachment, like the prior to the newer quick attach. These would slide in and there'd be a little locking lever that would go in those little notches. You could hook and unhook pretty quickly. Elevators. Don't know what they got going on in that shed back there, but they're probably selling it. Got an old post hole digger back here in the weeds. They'll probably sell it. Probably got a lot of stuff in the weeds here they don't even know it's here. Another elevator. Another Minneapolis Moline tractor. This guy didn't get rid of anything. Buy a new tractor, keep the old one. All these Nebraska farmers do that with their pickups too. Probably going to sell this big elevator that goes up into the bin. Giant flail mower. That thing's probably 20 feet wide. That's pretty wild. I don't know if these machines are old cleaners or dryers or what they are. Could be dryers. Had some kind of apparatus in the middle there. Who knows? Most of this will probably go for scrap. Somebody will come in and get it for the scrap price. Got a propane tank out here that appears to be like 10,000 gallons. So that would also lead me to believe that these were dryers with like propane burners in them. Otherwise you wouldn't need a propane tank that big. Got a shop building here. Loads of stuff. If you're going to outfit your shop, these are the kind of auctions you want to go to. They'll probably sell these bolts, bin, and everything. Look at all these little cute little bins here. And every drawer's probably got stuff in them. And nobody knows but the farmer that put it in here where this stuff all is. An old bandsaw. All kinds of battery chargers, a whole pile of them. It looks to be old kind of generator charger thing, gas powered. A couple engine hoists, a bunch of welding helmets, buckets of chain, kind of a homemade parts washer, tire machine, probably still works, welding cables. Those go for crazy amounts of money, those big heavy 220 cables. Air compressor. If I had the room, I'd be a player on this press here. I need a press in the shop, but I just don't have the room. I need a bigger shop. Old post hole digger. Lots of old battery cables and connections. Solar Finch chargers. Pipe wrenches. Like a 4-foot pipe wrench down there. All old alternators and whole box full of filters. Some old antique furniture. Looks like it's been sitting out in the shed and probably not in the house. Some neat pieces though. Old BB gun. Old Daisy BB gun. That's cool. Some space heaters. Probably had one of those in every room in the house. Old vanity. Some welders, an old wooden ladder. You don't see the wooden ladders around anymore. Some old welding rod that's toast. Little MIG welder with a small little portable bottle. Old oil cans. It's one of them old portable drill press deals. Gas cans. More Finch charger. Nice porta power. That'd be a nice thing to have. You never can tell if those are leaking though. Dollies, chainsaws. tire repair stuff, more filters. Guy had enough tractors, he probably got filters for all of them. Old chemicals. Got just about everything. 80 years worth of stuff there on the shelf. Guy was pretty organized. He's got all his shims and washers and everything all organized. Big long workbench. Nice old vise. They'll probably sell the vise. Now this drill press has got like a machining vise on it. It's got 3 different axes and a clamp. If they were wise, they would sell that vise separate from the drill press. Probably get more money out of it that way. Nice old stand bench grinder. Big old vise here. Everything goes. Shop vac. That'd be a heavy welder's cart to move around. Some refrigerant. Pressure washer. Little propane torch. Window AC unit and some chairs. Nice old table. Big old chest of drawers. Old wheelbarrow and some cribbing. Batteries. But the whole yard is full of stuff. There's the old farmhouse there. A lot more to show you. Portable generator that everybody in Nebraska needs one of those. 420 John Deere. Massey Ferguson with a big loader frame on it with the bale forks and the bucket to go with it. Not sure the brand on this tractor. It looks like a Ford, but it's the wrong color. It is a Ford. I learned to drive on one of these Select-O-Matic speed tractors. Remember, it had like 2 reverse gears and like 10 forward gears. I don't remember it being orange though. This was probably the same gray as on the fenders. It just faded out. The nice case loader. The big 7580. You probably get rid of the old gas pump and fuel tanks, all that back there. Farmall 340. This is same style connection as we saw on that sickle bar mower back there. You could slide your drawbar in and out. Let's show you the 3-point, what it looks like. That's what the old 3-point looks like. They were just receivers, and those bars would slide in, and then you had little locking levers right here that would lock down on those bars. 3-point spray set up with the booms on the back. Need quite a good sized tractor to run that. And also this big heavy Rhino bush hog. Old International grain truck. Somebody had it decorated up pretty cool with the pinstriping on the bed. Probably a pretty cool truck back in the day. Still cool. Nice little flatbed trailer, good size. Needs a new deck. Couple lawnmowers. Quad with the spray tank on it. Couple old leather gun scabbards, or they could carry their rifle around with them and kill pesky animals. Ford diesel 6000 tracker. A lot of the farmers around here have these trackers or Isuzu Troopers. They're cheaper than the Razor side-by-sides, or the Rangers, those ones they sell that you go out and check cows with. A lot of people buy these because you can get these for a couple $1,000s instead of the $30,000 of those Razors or Rangers. A lot of them will put big old spotlights up on the top, and this is what they use to go check their cows with, because you got heating and air conditioning and all that, and a whole lot cheaper. Nice little Ranger pickup, be a good starter truck for some young person. Big power unit, diesel. Don't know, it's probably a pivot. Yeah, it runs a pivot. Got a deal on the back to hook the drive line. Hooks to a pump for a pivot, a big deep well pump. Big old 3-point blade, all hydraulically controlled. Need a big tractor for that one. Hey bunny. 3-point disc, heavy one. Wouldn't be able to do it with my 3 Series tractor. Another Minneapolis Moline propane Jetstar 3. Earth mover, scraper. And all kinds of stuff back here. Got a walk behind rototiller, similar to the one that we use at the homestead. Little trailer for ATV. Mower, self-propelled mower that somebody built, made it into a side discharge instead of a rear discharge bagger. Ingenuity. An old hose reel, you just reel on the ground to roll your hose up. Whole pallet full of electric fence stakes, vehicle ramps, another sprayer, a couple backpack sprayers for ATVs, shovels. This appears to be like a fertilizer spreader here. Old brooms, yard tools, folding ramps. Those are pretty handy to have. Extension ladder. Don't know what this old metal ladder is off of. An old walk behind cedar. Some milk cans, creepers, old bicycle. Spray tanks. These are those weed eaters that you roll around on wheels. They have a big deal to cut stuff like this. Couple gas powered weed eaters. Some old tractor seats, stools. Some live traps. We'll go through some of the smalls now for you. Some old books. An old Montgomery Ward's catalog. That'd be interesting to have. Go through and see the old prices. 45 cents, $1, 79 cents for a shirt. Pretty neat old catalog, a lot of history in there. Ribbed pajamas, $1.39. Isn't that crazy? Pretty neat old stuff. World Atlas. Tractor manuals. Some old audio equipment. Old kitchenware. Carnival glass and stuff down in that box. Oh, that's cool. An old spice cabinet. Even got the bags of old spices in there. That was mace. Pretty neat. Yard sales or yard sticks.
Might find a hidden treasure somewhere.
Yes, sir. Whole silverware set.
Don't need it.
Nice old crock bowl, appears to have a crack in it. Old telephone. Ring them up. Old kitchen utensils. An old pot. Don't know what those are down there. Old tin full of buttons. People used to save their buttons in case they lost one, they'd have one to match. Roulette table. Old record player. Ancient. Old adding machine. Lots and lots of boots. If you needed boots to hang out on a fence post, there's plenty here.
You did? Yeah. He was probably...
Old insulated cups still in the plastic.
Whoa.
Old iron.
What do I think? It'll be an all-day deal, and I don't
Clippers.
think I will be here.
It sounds like it's got. It looks like it.
Neat old saw.
Oh my gosh. Hi, Roger. How are you?
We're around the whole deal.
Kinds of old hats.
I know. I seen that.
Clocks.
China huts are from the
Stoneware dishes. Air clipper stuff. Metal detector. Gloves. Whole box of gloves. Wonder what size they are. All brand new gloves. Some old school alarm clocks.
I got a phone for that.
Some old bows, fiberglass bows, fishing poles. It's like an old bowling ball bag, but probably not. Lanterns. Guy must have been a reloader. Must have reloaded all his old ammunition. Lots of gun scabbards. Lots of brass. Lots of reloading equipment. Powder. Everything you can imagine for reloading. Shotgun shells. Gunpowder. Lots, a whole box of targets. That'd be cool to have. And clay pigeons. These are all shotgun shell wads. All brand new. All shotgun shell wads. All black powder. Tubs and tubs of them. Decoys, an old barn owl. Got a neat old buffalo coat. Super heavy. Even got the gloves to go with it, but man, that thing must weigh 15 pounds. Got some old director's chairs. A whole bunch of safes. Love these older ones. Now these look like a camp stove, which you could use it for camp stoves, but a lot of people had these for canning, like out in the garage and stuff, so you wouldn't heat your house up. But nice 3-burner stove. Old washer and dryer. Some food grinders, complete with the stuffing horn. My kind of box right here. All kinds of old gizmos in here. Old cane pole. Old record player cabinet. Got storage down below for your records. A lot of the old records to go with it. Some old vintage furniture. Old metal bed frame with spring. Neat old bed frame. Real sturdy table. Desk, whatever it is. Bunch of chairs. Got 2 gooseneck trailers full of tools. And the gooseneck trailers will probably sell too. Got some high lift jacks. That one with a wooden handle. Old big pry bars. There's a leather strop for sharpening razor blades. Neat old flat belts. Those would be cool to have to run on the hit and miss engines. Chains. Belts upon belts upon belts. You needed for if you had combines and stuff like that, you had to have spare belts. Lots of pullers. These pullers go pretty expensive. Here's a hammer slide puller. Barbed wire. Neat old hammer. Little tiny air compressor, probably 12 volt bits. Assorted tools. Roller chains. A couple nice chains down there. More chains, change binders, come-alongs. Tools, crazy amount of tools. Here's some gopher traps. Oil cans. If you lose an oil can, you go get another one, I guess, and they keep accumulating. Eventually somebody finds them all. Look at these old label makers. Wire wheels, rivet guns, air and electric impact guns. Old spark plug cleaner. Got abrasive down in there. You screw your spark plug into there and cleans your spark plugs. The old kind of torque wrenches. The dial torque wrench. Bunch of ammo and some old chemical ladles got the measurement right on them.
Yes, I didn't even know
Dremel tool. More powder containers. Lots of vice grips. Shears, leather punches. These were the old magnetic things you'd put on your hitch. You just lined up the balls when you backed up and you were on. Files, wrenches, whole box of files there. Spring compressors. Crazy amounts of tools. End wrenches, sets. The valve grinding kit there. Little chainsaw. And tap and die set there looks like for pipe. Finch stretchers. Assorted bottle jacks, screw jacks. Nice old anvil. Been used a little bit, got the corners beat off of it. Big 3/4 drive socket set and bow saw. Chop saw, portable air tank, another battery charger, more belts, belt pulleys, Sawzall. Probably a skill saw in there. More wrenches. Drills. Battery pliers. Screwdrivers. Nebraska toolkit. Old Sawzall. Soldering kit. Chisels, and more chisels. Pry bars. Old lineup bars. Air chisels with all the attachments. Hand saws. Grease guns are like oil cans. You lose one, you go buy another one. Adjustable end wrenches. Every size ball peen hammer you could imagine. If you're a blacksmith, you like all the different sizes because the different size peen heads on them allow you to do different types of bending, different sizes. Another nice old hammer. All the farmers back in the day did a little bit of blacksmithing because that's how you fix stuff. The whole pallet full of suitcase weights. Put those on your tractor, either on the front or the back for ballast. Here's the auction wagon. They drive around. The auctioneer stays in there. Got speakers up there. If it rains, they're under cover. Got a little generator to run all their audio equipment. Here's the business trailer where you go get your numbers and then you pay your tab when you're done. And then they always bring out a lunch trailer because these auctions go all day long. So you need refreshments and something to eat. So they always make sure they have something on hand for folks. Here's a neat old gear reduction unit here. Super cool. Don't know what it was for, but pretty neat, like a planetary action there. Obviously to gear something up or gear something way down. Got a bunch of old iron here next to the old building. Some scrapper will probably buy all this. But if you do any kind of welding at your place or anything like that, it's good to have this stuff laying around because you always use it for something. Let's check out what's in the old shop here. More and more stuff. Another old pivot motor. Hour meter is either turned over or doesn't work. Just absolutely crazy amounts of stuff. Old antique stuff just kind of hanging around. Old flat belts. But they'll probably just come in here and say, does anybody want anything? And they'll just start selling things that people pick out. They'll pull it out of the pile and then everybody will bid on it. Or they'll go, how much for everything in this barn once they get things singled out. And somebody will buy the whole lot of stuff. Got an old wood heater over there. I'm assuming it's wood. But parts for everything in here that you can imagine. This guy ran a farm and he had lots of equipment that he needed to keep running. So he had to have parts. It looked like animals been living out here at some point. Pretty wild, the amount of stuff that a person can collect in their lifetime. And so many duplicates. Like, here's some more refrigerant containers here. I guess you lose track of what you got and you go buy new and forget you already have it. I've done that a few times on some small items, hardware stuff. Now with the amount of stuff that's out here, this auction is going to run all day long, I'm sure. and probably into the evening a little bit. Now Kelly and I, we've been through this whole place here. We don't see anything that we just can't do without. Nothing that would warrant us being here all day for this auction. Maybe just a couple little trinket things I would pick up, but that's just more stuff laying around. And you go to enough of these auctions, you get to where you have what you need. You don't really need anything else. And an old IH dirt mover. Somebody probably moved a lot of dirt with this at some point. The looks to be a propane unit also. Got a giant propane tank on the front. Well, they're getting ready to kick the auction off. They usually start with the tool trailers. Go through a lot of the smalls first. A lot of people filing in. People going to get some good deals today. Pennies on the dollar. Cars are filing in. We're going to be filing out. I think my coffee in the truck's still warm. A lot of little things that, you know, be cool to have, but nothing I just gotta have. So we're gonna save some money and get out of here, because if I stayed, I know I just wouldn't be able to pass up on a cheap price on something. Just, I can't see something going for $1 that's worth $100 and I always buy it. But I've got a pretty decent shop at home and I'm pretty well equipped. I just don't need a lot of this stuff anymore. But if you're setting up a new shop or a new house, you could really benefit from one of these auctions and get things just pennies on the dollar. Got some older equipment down here in the weeds they'll sell. Got a Ford, another Ford 6000. Got some cultivators and tillers and rippers. A couple old wagons over there. I don't know if those are silage wagons or what they are. There looks to be an old flare box wagon out there in the weeds. Old trailer of some sort here that they used to haul stuff on. An old dump rake up there up on the hill, an old dump hay rake. Got a nice little drag scraper here. Those are real handy. Like, got an old grain head, some water piping. There's some of those cattle feeders or mineral deals that spin around in the wind to keep the rain off of your feed. Some old Caterpillar power units. Little piggyback sprayer, some aluminum water pipe. That aluminum itself is probably worth more than the water pipe is. For take those to recycling, you'd get quite a bit of change for those. There's a neat old motor over there with some kind of equipment on it. Let's go look. Oh, that's an old pump jack. You would spin this big wheel, and then these arms would go up and down for pumping water if you didn't have any wind. There's one of them crazy big old satellite dishes. Remember those? There's a 2-row planter. This is one of those whirly gigs that goes up on top of the building, spins in the wind and ventilates your shop. This is some kind of old cultivator here in the weeds. They had these deals up here where you could put ballast up on top, whether it be concrete blocks or whatever. Got another sickle mower, one of the pull behind ones. Lots of stuff buried in the weeds out here. Some old metal wheels with axles. That's off an old combine or thresher, whatever it was. More aluminum water pipe. That was quite a chore back in the days before pivots and moving all these water pipes around. Looks like they burnt some old tires there. An old water pump. There's an old trencher. Old school trencher. Looks to be another dryer. All kinds of old augers and you name it, it's laying around out here. Old combine, Massey Ferguson. Couldn't tell you what that piece of yellow equipment is over there. More cultivators, older stuff out here on the fence line. There's a plow, like an 8 bottom or 6 bottom. There's a 4 bottom plow. Another 4 bottom plow. Bale forks or hay, big hay rack thing you pick hay up with in the field and then it pushes it off. This appears to be like a hiller or ripper or something. And then here's an old school hay rake with big wheels, because those wheels were at an angle. When they would hit the grass down on the ground, they would turn and it would spit the hay out the other end out there. The big high wheeler hay rake. Old white articulated tractor, old school. Old pipe trailer, probably homemade, somebody made. More irrigation pipe and a trap wagon for fuel. Now, and I don't know if that's an attendee or if somebody's going to sell the old flatbed. That's a neat old Ford flatbed. Got an old U.S. Army something or other out here. It's a track piece of equipment with a blade on the front. But I don't see no operator station or anything on it. It's got a big motor unit on it. A big old disc, probably a 18-foot disc or 20-foot, a couple of them. Well, Kelly and I are going to make like a baby and head out of here. We're about halfway to our local Walmart. So we might as well go down and stop by that. Need to find some, don't have a lot of clothing options in our town, so we're going to go down there and look around a little bit. But hope you enjoyed the little tour around the auction. Sorry we didn't stick around and show you some of the items sell. But again, we just really didn't see anything that we couldn't live without. So what do you think, Kel? Did you see anything that you wanted?
No, there was a neat old cabinet that I would have liked for the bathroom, but it wasn't big enough.
Yeah. So, till next time, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy. And come back and see us here on the farm. We've got lots more to do on the homestead and a lot more coming up. So, we'll see you then.
Thanks for watching.